Hi, hello. Welcome in for Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. I'm so excited to get back to my beloved Toreador. Not quite as cherished as my own, but because we're moving the campaign to New York, my personal Vampire the Masquerade campaign, I'm super invested in this because I want to have these NPCs as a part of my own campaign. Like, I have begged Emalynde, if we ever run into Sophie, to let me, like, play her as an NPC in the campaign. I think that would be so incredibly fun. I am so here to figure out the social dynamics, if we've got any faction conflicts. Like, I know we've already encountered one anarch, but it doesn't seem like there's much conflict. It seems it's really Camarilla ruled, that we're not having any sort of the back and forth that, like, Bloodlines has in Los Angeles. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Who do we, or we could hang out with Hope. Hope is about to head out into the city, accompany her and see her true face. I really, look, okay. I know I said Tremere or nosferatu, but Hope was so cool, right? Hope's such a bad bitch. Fuck it, we're gonna do Hope. She invited us to go and hang out with her, and how rude would we be to just be like, I'm gonna go meet new people. Bye. So let's hang out with Hope. Oh, I need to rest. Oh, I got all excited. Okay. You're walking down the street towards your haven. In some other town, the sidewalks would be deserted this time of night. In New York City, there are plenty of passerbys going about their business. It's easy to be paranoid when you're a vampire surrounded by a crowd of humans. The kindred have many enemies, and all those enemies have one trait in common. They're invisible, indistinguishable from normal humanity. Other vampires, hunters, all look like people. Is that old man just a tired restaurant worker? Or a kindred thrall tailing your movements? Are the officers idly waiting in a patrol car ordinary cops? Are second inquisition specialists looking to end undead threats? This kind of thinking leads to madness, but you can't shake the feeling that someone's watching you. It's not the first time you've felt like this. Following the queue of so many mortals around you, you stop at a street corner to casually survey your surroundings, as if you were trying to remember which turn to take. You look around ostensibly at street signs, but in reality, to see if someone really is following you. Down the street where you came from, a crowd of young, drunk men argue loudly about baseball. There's an indistinct figure standing behind them. Almost impossible to notice. A woman, probably? The men unconsciously move around her as they start to walk away, still mouthing off at each other. Is this low-tier obfuscate? You know what I forgot? I can't possibly be playing this game and not have my fangs in. Alright, crisis averted. Whatever this is, it's probably something you have to take care of. Best case, someone's tailing you. Worst case, you'll be attacked and killed. Unfortunately, being undead has its limitations. The sun's coming up soon, and you'll burn to a crisp if you stay on the streets. So that's scary because it means we have to go home. And we have led this person to our home. Not great. You reach your haven and settle in for the day, disconcerted by the idea that someone might know where you sleep. Exactly my point. All right, next day. As you wake from your slumber and emerge from your haven for the night, you notice a familiar face on the other side of the street, standing on the corner and looking straight at you. It's Kaiser's lackey whom you met recently, Jackie. He nods to you, encouraging you to approach. His hands are outside of his pockets, and he seems pretty relaxed. He's keeping his eyes on the street, though, as if making sure that you're alone. He smiles awkwardly when you approach. Evening. Got something for you from our mutual friend. He produces a crumpled piece of paper from his jacket pocket and hands it to you. Read it, memorize it, then give it back here. Oh, we don't even get to keep it. It's a letter. The paper might be just a page ripped out of a spiral notebook, but the writing on it is exquisitely detailed and deliberate. It reads, "Time to square your debt with me. Go to the wine shop at 232 Mulberry Street and ask for the 1821 Special Reserve Donatello Negro Amaro. When they tell you they don't have it, say, wait. Is this Giovanni shit? This would be so cool if this was Giovanni shit. I'm gonna butcher this Italian, but I'm gonna try my best. Say you are a fedele servitore della famiglia G. Those exact fucking words. And make sure you get the G right. Heckata time. You'll get a bottle. Just take it and leave by saying grazie. Don't ask how much it is or anything else. Just walk out. When you have it, come back to Jackie boy here and let him know. You done? Memorize that shit and hand it over. I'm so excited. Letters. Passwords. What sort of cloak and dagger nonsense? That's how the boss likes it. Who might argue? I just do what he says. About done with the letter. You note the phrases and address mentioned in the letter. God, could you imagine? I would have such a hard time memorizing all that Italian and like having it down perfectly. And then you hand the letter back to Jackie. He immediately reaches for a lighter and burns it, putting out the ashes with his boot. I mean, I get it. Second Inquisition, you don't fuck with the Second Inquisition. You don't. But this is like, I've never seen this degree of secrecy, like, manifest in a campaign. You know what I mean? You just hear about the fact that Second Inquisition are bad news bears and that you don't do certain shit, but this is an example and I love it. So, yeah, when you do what the boss asks, come back here so I can tell you where to go next. I'll be in that alley over there, so find me when you have the item, whatever it is. I don't know. And the boss made it extra clear that I shouldn't care, so I don't. See ya. He shuffles away and leaves you to pursue the lead from the letter. Time to pay a visit to Nolita. You arrive at the address mentioned in the note. Not counting local restaurant patrons, the street's mostly empty at this time of night. But curiously, the wine shop is still open. Inside, a small, middle-aged woman with curly hair stands behind the counter in front of a wall filled with wine bottles. There's a door at the back of the room with a small table and chair, occupied by a man in a black faux leather jacket with slick, combed-back hair. Giovanni time? He's reading a newspaper, but pauses as a little bell rings when you open the door. He takes a sip from a small, steaming cup, then gets back to his broadsheet. Oh no. Good evening. How can I help you? Oh. Yeah. We have a very specific thing to do, and we have to do exactly that. I like a bowl of the ancient 21 special reserve Donatello Negro Amaro, please. Our boys got it. Let me check our stock. She seems to be looking through a database on the laptop sitting on the counter. She puts on a polite smile. I'm afraid we don't have that one at the moment. Sorry. Okay, yes. We're gonna do exactly what we were told to do. Oh God. Doing this with the Cockney is going to be really interesting. I'm Fedele Salvatore della Famiglia G. Remember, we had to get the G right. In that case, let me see if we have any in the bag. Wait here, please. The woman leaves the counter and goes through the doors in the back. The man by the table puts down his newspaper and takes another sip from the cup, washing it down with a gulp of water from the nearby glass. He tries to hide it, but there's no doubt he's watching you. About a minute passes. They're so particular about what we needed to do and how we needed to do it that I'm just going to play it cool. You remind yourselves of what Kaiser wrote in the letter and keep quiet, patiently waiting for the woman to return from the back of the store. The man finishes his drink and starts doodling on the newspaper, his eyes darting to you every so often. The doors to the back of the store open, and the proprietor emerges with a small, unlabeled, squat bottle of crimson liquid. She gives you an apologetic smile. Scusi, sorry for taking so long. Turns out we did have it. She offers you the bottle and you reach out to grab it, but she retracts it. You do know what this is, don't you? We can use presents. We haven't fed lately, though, and I'm a little worried because I'm not quite sure how the mechanic works. If it's like VTM, the tabletop, we're gonna roll, right, and see what we get on our hunger dice and whether or not our hunger increases, and then we need to go feed. But it doesn't have a visible die, and so I'm nervous. But I also don't want to use our vampiric abilities because we're clearly being watched. There we go. Well, it's a wine shop. It's wine, surely. Well, of course, the best kind of wine. Enjoy. She winks at you. Deciding you've pushed your luck far enough, you nod and exit the store, then take a brisk walk to your car. Nobody follows you as you leave 𝒂𝒨𝒂 and drive back to your apartment. Is this blood wine? It takes you some time to find a parking spot, but you finally get out of the car and start looking for Jackie. He's not far from where you parted ways just under 2 hours ago. Got the goods. I'm tempted, but I'm also nervous because we're clearly, like, in some shit. I sure do. Cool, stand by. Gotta make the call. He takes a few more steps into a narrow space between two buildings and takes out the same high-tech phone you saw him carrying last time. Hey, boss. Yeah, they have it. Where do I point him to? Okay, yeah. I'll tell them to go there right away. He puts the phone back in his pocket, then turns back to you. Willets Point. Half an hour, so you better step on it. See you around. With only a flippant salute, Jackie starts walking down the street. You make your way back to the car and drive. You had to push the speed limit to make it on time, but you're here. Willets Point is quite a change of scenery. This place is a post-industrial dump, the nearby stadium notwithstanding. You stop your car once you realize that if you go any further down, the potholes will kill your chassis. You step out into one of those gashes in the asphalt. splashing in the ankle-deep water. No. Why does this always happen to us? In Bloodlines, we're wading through the sewers getting our clothes gross, and now here we are, doing almost the same thing. Kaiser's limo is nowhere to be seen. In fact, the whole place is pretty much deserted, other than the apparent proprietor of a lonely bar, a middle-aged woman who's just locking the place up. Oh. Nah, we're chillin'. We're chillin'. We don't know this area, and we don't know whose area this is. You know what I mean? I don't want to feed in somebody else's domain. You stay near your car and decide to wait. Kaiser must be on his way, or if he's not and is instead playing one of his games, then you're not participating. You've got what he wants. Let him come to you. The bright lights of a car pulling over down the road some 10 minutes later catch your attention. It's a black limo. Kaiser's finally here, it would seem. Same as last time. The car doors open, but nobody comes out. You know the drill. This time, Kaiser's visible when you look inside. You sit down and close the door behind you. Think we had brusque businessman for him? The hunger mechanic does seem very vague. The hungrier you are, the more red the edges of the screen will be. So it looks like we're chilling right now. But I definitely don't want to push it, because I don't know if it's going to yank the game out of my hands, TLDR, if we get too hungry and potentially frenzy. I do want to try that in Bloodlines at some point. I think it would be really interesting to see what that mechanic's like, but definitely didn't want to do it with our canon playthrough. So you pulled it off without a hitch then? Give it here. You hand the bottle over to the nosferatu. He uncorks it gently, takes a whiff, and puts the cork back in. Yeah, that's the stuff. See, that wasn't so hard. Consider your debt paid. Oh yeah, and also, take this. It's what Langely wanted. He passes you an envelope with what feels like a thick card inside. We're going to just say thank you very much, be polite, and be on our way. Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Yeah, just... I'll send Jackie over if I need anything else from you. How about that? Time for you to get out now. He waves you out of the car. With the envelope in hand, you get back out, onto the torn asphalt and decrepit surroundings. The limo slowly drives away. Finally, you can return to Sophie and bring her what she wanted. Gregory lets you in. Oh, you hear a shrill, unpleasant laugh, and you realize Sophie is having a guest over. He's the man from Elysium, the one with the glasses and good taste in suits. You didn't have the chance to talk to him last time you saw him. Oh, Emma, I'm so glad to see you. Tell me, did the two of you previously meet? The man doesn't wait for an answer. He approaches you with an energetic, almost dance-like step and puts out his hand. Thomas Arturo, I've heard about you. Pleasure. So my current VTM campaign is set in New York. They moved from New Orleans to New York, and Thomas is her best friend. Oh my goodness. Thomas is a great source of gossip and an excellent conversationalist. I also have the prince's ear, which is the primary reason dear Miss Langely wished to speak to me tonight. Good gossip, even coming from me, isn't nearly as valued. Sad. Sophie is taken aback by the man's direct comment, but smiles politely. The awkward atmosphere is broken again by the guest's grating laugh. I kid, of course. I kid. Well, I was about to leave anyway, so I'll leave you two to it. Good night, Sophie, Emma, Greggy boy. Wow. Sophie's driver opens the door for Arturo, and the guest steps out with a single wave of the hand towards his host and you. The doors close. He's, quite a character, isn't he? Yes, quite. But he has his uses. Thomas has clout in court and access to many juicy details on everyone from the prince to the lowliest primogen. It's useful to have him on your side, even if his eccentricity requires some patience. Speaking of patience, you've been putting mine to the test lately. Did you manage to contact Kaiser and acquire what I asked for? Sophie, baby, please, please. She's really just our patron right now, and I don't really want to test any of that. She literally saved our life. I don't know whether saying this is going to get us anywhere, because she's going to be like, well, of course, that's how these things work, right? So I think we just apologize and do what we can. I do have it. He gave me this card. Apologies for keeping you waiting. She retrieves the envelope from you. What's important is that you have it. Did he give you trouble? It made me go on an entirely separate escapade to retrieve a bottle of wine from a store in 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. I use code phrases and whatnot. Wine shop? Code phrases? That degenerate pest. She's visibly agitated, but calms down and smiles at you. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure that whatever Kaiser had you do, it'll blow over. She opens the envelope and looks at the card. You notice the same lettering you saw on Kaiser's note from before, but can't see the details. Her eyes widen. Yes. Excellent. I need to call in some favors. I'll likely be busy for the next few nights. You have my permission to show some initiative, my dear charge. I will contact you soon. With that, Sophie ushers you outside, and you're left to do the rest of this night's hours as you like. Ooh. So this was the dude at the church? No. Oh, this is a different person. This is the person somebody's, like, the person who's watching us, potentially. God, I feel so bad, because we're supposed to be getting all these new people, but I'm, like, so intrigued by everything that's popping up. And then we've got boys we've not even met. Tremere, Nos. Normally, having Tremere as part of your coterie is not the most kosher. There's a lot of vampire society, kindred society, that doesn't like or trust the Tremere. I mean, obviously that's not the case for every single Tremere in existence, but by and large, I don't know if that's going to be an issue. Like, if we, like, waltz into 𝒸𝒾𝒶 court and we're like, hey, this is my blood, and they're, like, scandalized, you know what I mean? Same with the Nos. The Nos are definitely typically less ostracized. They're just in the shadows, right? Because they kind of have to be. I don't know. I'm so biased. I already really like the people that we've met. I think Tam is chill as fuck. Let's hang out with her. As you open the blinds, you're able to spot a small grayish bird flying off into the night. Looking down, you notice a small piece of paper on the windowsill. Prospect. ASAP. Tam. Third time's the charm, you think to yourself, as you again cross the gate of Prospects Park and head to Tamika's haven. To your surprise, you find her out in the open, sitting on the lawn, surrounded by a host of woodland creatures. Birds and squirrels, mostly. I guess I never realized that you could basically be, like, a Snow White gangrel. Like, just friend to the animals, hanging out with them. Because you usually see gangrels be more animalistic themselves, or at least that's my impression of them and experience with them so far. So I love this different portrayal. The critters each patiently await their turn as she flicks the seed at them. It looks almost whimsical in a twisted sort of way. Yeah, let's ask her how she's doing. Last time we hung out with her, she was having a time of it. 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶, are you old enough? Well enough, all things considered. She scatters the remaining seeds under the grass and hops to her feet. I've been doing some digging. The Inquisition has a safe house up in Manhattan. I think that's where they're keeping him. The scarred one, I mean. I want to pay him a visit. Kill that thing and as many of those SI bastards as I can along the way. Wait, are we killing the scarred one? I thought he was kind of like an icon for the gangrel in a way. Am I misremembering? Attacking a government safe house? Correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't that be considered a breach of the Masquerade? Yeah, and that's the least of our worries. Throwing a legion of armed goons standing in our way, and an all-powerful vampire is the cherry on top. Look, I'm not stupid. I know it's risky as hell, and I'm well aware I might not be coming back. Still, it's something I had to do, with or without your help. Wow. Okay, we should not mention Raoul. We're not going to leverage that. This is what friends are for. Just so that we're clear, I think this is a terrible idea. But I can't just sit around while you're getting yourself killed. So yeah, I'm going with you. So am I. He emerges from the shadows a mere few feet away from you. The son of a gun finally managed to sneak up on you. Tamika eyeballs him as he gets closer. You've seen that look before. She's clearly asserting her position, but this time, it comes off as a formality rather than an actual challenge. How long have you been there, Raoul? Long enough. I'm still not buying that whole scarred one bullcrap. But taking a bite out of the Inquisition's collective ass is just too good to pass up. I want in. You better believe it. I was there. Saw with my own eyes. I'm sure you saw something. Whether or not it was the literal boogeyman they scare young ferals with is a whole different story. And with no due respect, you're hardly a fucking expert on the subject. Now, can we move this along? I mentioned to kill me some SI fucks. Well, yeah, I think this is kind of Tamika's call. Tamika, you got one opinion? Guess I know who the alpha is around here. You should come with us. He's got the right to be there, to see the scarred one with his own eyes. Plus, my brother can be a pain in the ass, but he's one hell of a fighter. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if we're really gonna go in and confront the Second Inquisition and the scarred one, I don't know why we're killing him. If he's a boogeyman, maybe we can like figure out why? Question mark. But there you go. Tam's seal of approval. It's settled then. Let's go. Fucking finally. And with that, you leave the relative safety of Prospect Park, steeling yourself for things to come. We're gonna have one fuck of a night. As you get closer to your destination, you get this sneaking suspicion that Tamika's been pulling your leg. Following her lead, you take a turn from Broadway into Fort Tyrion Park. This is giving me Society of Leopold. This is giving me a hard Society of Leopold. It doesn't seem to make sense, you think to yourself. There's only one spot between here and the Hudson River. But it can't be, can it? Sure enough, as the stone facade of the cloisters comes into view, tamika motions at you to keep out of sight. How the hell is this well-known tourist trap a hideout for the Second Inquisition? The cloisters? Seriously? That's the Inquisition's safe house. Talk about hiding in plain sight, huh? This place used to be a lot of things. Now, it serves as a staging ground for the Inquisition. My sources are to be trusted, and they usually are. They brought him here for what they call processing. I doubt they'll keep him here for long, though. If we want to get to him, it's now or never. As if on cue, a group of armed guards walks out of the museum, pushing a gurney with a large steel container on top. As they wheel it out into the open, a truck approaches. The operatives start preparing to load the crate onto the vehicle. You scan the area, trying to take a head count. Tamika beats you to it. I count at least 7, probably more inside. We should do this quietly and take them out one by one. Raoul frowns. Let me guess, this guy's a spray and pray, run the fuck right in kind of guy. I say we go in guns a-blazing, figuratively speaking. If there are more inside, let them come. The more the merrier. No, let's go with the stealthy approach. Tamika's right. We should get in there quietly. Take them out one by one. Tamika nods in silence. Ugh, fine. Let's do this already before you do bore me to final death. My guy, you need to get a hold of yourself. You split up, aiming to cover as much ground as possible. Sticking to the shadows, you advance, keeping track of one another's progress. You hardly even notice as Tamika takes out the first guard. Not a peep out of him. Trying to keep up, Raoul kills the one to your left. He's sloppy, takes his sweet-ass time bleeding the guy out. With his dying breath, "God damn it, Raoul!" The man lets out a yelp, drawing the attention of one of his comrades. With the guard fast approaching, you ponder your options. I say we just choke him out. We want to do quiet. And we're not very good at this yet. So I'm worried there's more room for error here. As the guard walks by, you leap out of the shadows and put him in a crushing headlock. Opting for a non-lethal approach, you quickly choke the guy out. I'm worried because I don't know if he's seen anything yet. Just as you're about to move on, Raoul jumps in and plunges his claw into the man's chest. He then turns towards you and mutters a silent reprimand. 3 down, 4 to go. You keep a steady pace, moving across the courtyard, picking off the guards one by one. Tamika does her part. 3 to go. Raoul gets messy again. At least this time, he's quiet. With only 2 of them left, you pick one for yourself and gesture at one of your fellow ferals to take care of the other. Tamika's quieter, but Raoul's closer. Which one will you choose? Tam. Tam every day. You wave your hand at Tam, pointing at her final target. She nods and starts making her way towards him. Suddenly, by virtue of sheer luck, he turns around just as she's about to pounce. His scream is quickly muffled, but still loud enough for the very last guard to hear. As all 3 of you approach him, the dire reality of the situation hits him like a ton of bricks. Paralyzed with fear, He keeps shifting his aim from you to Tamika to Raoul. He's severely fucked and he knows it. And since you're standing closest to him, you might as well do the honors. No. We are not fucking with this. We could all get very, very hurt. Here we go. This is a much better feeding opportunity. Time for just desserts. You walk over to the quivering mess that mere minutes ago thought himself the toughest of the tough. Before he can react, you slap the gun out of his hands, lean in, and smile. Hi. Half a second later, your fangs are already halfway to his windpipe. The blood tastes sour, with a hint of cowardice and regret. Could have gone out with a bang. Chose to go out with a gurgle. Oh well. With the SI operatives taken care of, you turn your attention to the container sitting in the middle of the courtyard. Using your combined strength, you make quick work of the steel door. As you walk in, the moonlight from behind you illuminates a twisted figure huddled on the floor. It's hard to believe that the thing lying before you, beaten and tortured within an inch of its unlife, is the same creature you fought back at the cemetery. What the fuck is that thing? Why, it's the boogeyman Raoul. Turns out he's real. Isn't it, huh? His lips move silently, as if searching for the right words. He looks to you, then turns to his sister, as if waiting for a sign. For a moment, Tamika just stands there. She looks down at the scarred one, the once fearful boogeyman, whose very mention could strike terror in the hearts of her tribe. Now, reduced to a whimpering pile of flesh. Finally, she turns to you with a look of childish innocence mixed with confusion. Then, she looks back at the scarred one. You can tell she's lost. Damn, what the hell are you waiting for? Let's kill this thing and get out of here. You know me. This doesn't feel right. Like, he might have attacked us, we don't know whose domain is who, but like, no harm, no foul, right? I'd much rather make an ally out of this situation than kill someone who's clearly been tortured. I mean, confirmed. You show us what you want. Look at him. It's as if he's already dead. It always didn't matter, anyway. You fucking kidding me? We came all this way just to back down now? No, dude, we killed some SI. We've done some work. Stop talking. She's quivering, clenching her fists. You can tell she's about to reach a decision. Yeah, I think that so far, honestly, Tam has really come off to me as having a lot of humanity. Remember, you don't have to do this. You don't have to become like him. Suddenly, the very air around you seems to thicken. You look over to Tamika. She's not quivering anymore. She walks up to the scarred one. The pitiful creature presses itself into the corner in a desperate, futile attempt to crawl away. Without a word, she grabs the creature by the ears, sinking her claws into the side of his head. She looks him dead in the eye. Her voice cuts through the air like cold steel. Stay out of my territory. In one fluid motion, she rips the chain off the wall. Oh, the pitiful shadow that was once the scarred one hurries off into the night. Dude, I thought she killed him. Raoul seems flabbergasted. Tam, what the hell are you doing? Taking control. Standing outside the steel container, the three of you take a moment to gather your thoughts. You look at one another, the pale blood staining your hands, clothes, and faces. In the pale moonlight, it appears black and shiny, like a fresh ink stain on a fresh sheet of paper. Without another word, you head back towards the city lights. The journey back takes longer than it did in the other direction. With bits and pieces of the Second Inquisition still tucked to your clothes, you decide to play it safe by sticking to back alleys and cutting through the darker corners of the city. Tamika stays several steps ahead. Both you and Raoul are quite content to follow her lead. You can tell that these last few nights have taken a toll on her, but not necessarily in a bad way. She seems stronger, somehow. Confident, more in tune with herself. Soon, the awkward silence proves unbearable enough that you're willing to risk making small talk with Raoul. You think she's gonna be alright? Yeah, I think so. She's just gotta figure some stuff out. Our lineage, we have a special relationship with the beast. We can either let it control us or become attuned to it. That's a really cool concept. It's a constant struggle, marked with difficult choices, and I think Tam just made one of them. Pondering what you've just heard, the rest of the trip barely registers. To your surprise, you suddenly find yourself back at Prospect. Tamika keeps walking. She strides through the park gate like a queen of old, returning after a victorious conquest. You want to call out to her, but Raoul stops you with a gesture. Not yet. Give her some time to process all this shit. She'll let you know when she's ready. And, hey, you did alright. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're still an asshole, but yeah. Thanks. He smiles at you. Wonders never cease. See you around. And with that, he follows in his sister's footsteps. A weird smile creeps onto your face as you meld into the New York night. Wait, that's all we get to do? We have to rest now? Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, we gotta rest. Fine. What an interesting little side quest, though. So we can still check out our stalker. Got this fuck. Absolutely not. Get rid of this man. Get him out. Who are you? There's a sleazy reporter from a gossip magazine sniffing around Sophie's haven? Absolutely not. Why is this giving me the bail bonds 𝒸𝒾𝒁 guy? Oh my god, let's do it. This sounds like fun. The streetlights filter into the apartment in a stark white glow, as if someone were shooting a movie outside. I feel like helping Sophie will endear us to her, and she'll be even more willing to help. It's about currying favor, baby. That's how you play the game. The art pieces display a tasteful expense entirely fitting the image you have of Sophie. It feels as if 1,000 sins have been committed on these premises, most of them under her benevolent hospitality. Sophie comes to greet you as you enter the living room, shaking her head. You understand that people judge me based on how you dress, don't you? Toreadors. Sophie looks at your clothes as if resigned to your sartorial limitations. I try to dress inconspicuously, because of the masquerade. That's very sensible of you. I suppose I should commend you for that. Sophie walks to the window and looks out, the street lights playing on her features. She reminds you of a queen contemplating the unfortunate limitations of her subjects. You'd think that as a vampire, at least we wouldn't have to worry about the vultures of the press. Unfortunately, when you have power and ability, there are always parasites trying to feed on you. Is there a report after you? Yes, a terribly persistent creature. Sophie steps away from the window and settles down on a sofa, a wine glass with red liquid in it. Blood, treated as not to spoil. You've become good at noticing the scent, even from a distance. She doesn't offer you any as you cautiously sit down across from her. That awful man has been stalking my apartment with a camera. He's gone through my trash. Talk to the neighbors. Please be a dear and explain to him that there's nothing for him here. I don't think that's the card we want to play with her. Is it about the masquerade? That's a big deal for us, right? Indeed, you're learning. Isn't this dangerous for all kindred? Of course it is, if we don't make it go away. It does seem pretty pertinent to protect Sophie. She is definitely the one with the most control over our existence, so I'm definitely trying to like lean into the we're a wee little fledgling trying to stay alive. Do you know anything about this reporter, ma'am, woman, young, old, anything like that? Oh, gossip reporters look the same to me. Time for you to go. I have business to attend to. Sophie, please. You leave the apartment as Sophie disappears into another room. You don't have a clear idea of the game she plays with the city's mortal and immortal power structures, but she always seems to be making a move. That's how you do it. Outside on the street, there's a slight, warm drizzle. The kind that gets under your clothes and makes you want to take a shower when you get back to your own haven. No reporters immediately jump out to you. Yeah, we gotta take a look around. You start with the basics of investigative work. You ask the proprietor of the bodega around the corner, the homeless man sleeping in a nearby doorway, and the doorman of another building, whether they've seen anyone strange. Detective work produces results. You get the description of a man who sounds like a reporter. Older, overweight, pasty, and in bad physical condition. Professional camera. Once you know what you're looking for, it's not difficult. You spot a man who matches the description and follow him. Oh. You enter an alley. A dark, dingy space between two tall buildings. Once upon a time, a place like this might have worried you. Made you think of muggings and violence. Now, it's clear that the most dangerous thing here is you. The man you're following seems to realize this too. He holds his camera in front of him like a shield, its heavy objective resting on his paunch. With a start, you recognize him. You remember the face, the shaded sunglasses from a picture next to a byline in some trashy paper. The article was about a friend of yours, an artist who was reported to be dating a celebrity. It was true, but the celebrity didn't want to be associated with your friend and broke it off afterwards. For months, your friend cursed Doherty's name. Hey, don't go around scaring people like that. I apologize ahead of time. Wow, are we really gonna go in welcome to Knuckletown? Okay, so we can solve this several ways. If we're cool about it, and like come in with a, oh, I'm a huge fan, and butter him up and then maybe convince him to leave, he might come back. Other side of that equation is, if we just beat the shit out of him, not kill him, he probably won't come back, but we risk ourselves. If we kill him, he's clearly well known enough. People will notice he's missing. Maybe I want to try to play it safe rather than sorry, especially because we're a wee babe. We have fed, so we can use maybe presents. Maybe we just awe him and convince him to leave. Because I'm worried about us being messy if we kill him, and God, that's the worst. It'd be so much worse if we drew more attention to where Sophie was than if this man just came back. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's try to butter him up. Let's try. Everybody cross your fingers and your toes. Wow, you're Frank Doherty. I'm a huge fan. I love your work. Thank you. It's nice to have everyone's work appreciated. I don't know if they're like gonna stay in the same vein. What are you out here reporting on? I'm not sure you can help me, well, perhaps you can. Do you live here? I'm working on a story about a local resident. Her name's Sophie Langley. Everybody knows her in high society circles. I'm doing my best, please bear with me. From the way you look, I'm guessing you might know her too. She's a redhead. Pretty as a picture. And there are lots of pictures of her through the years. That's the thing, in fact. Look at this. Sophie! Frank pulls out his phone and starts showing you pictures. This is why you have to change up your appearance. You can't stay in the same place for too long. Some have been downloaded from news sites, while others are photos from the society pages of newspapers from past decades. Sophie, baby. All show Sophie. Okay. She has different clothes, hairstyles, makeup, names, but the face remains the same. Okay, she's been doing her due diligence. This man's just obsessed for some reason. Ooh! I don't want to lead in aggressive because then he's not going to be very amenable to our presence usage if we get to use it. I mean, they're all hot. Other than that, I'm not sure. Come on. Look at the face. It's always the same. I don't want to lead him into that. Why does this matter? I mean, it doesn't. People are always interested in staying young. 3 Woods. Extreme plastic surgery. All the celebrities do it. Only her doctor's better than the rest. You look critically at the photos on Frank's phone. I don't want to say this because I feel like that one is going to put him off on a different direction. You thinking the world's best plastic surgeon is working out of this alley? Okay, fine. I don't know what this is all about. So, how would you explain it? I don't think saying that we know Sophie personally is going to do us much good. Because then he's just going to want to meet her, and she wants this man to go away. I'm not sure what really gets us where we want to go with any of these. Ancient medicines, like, pushes us more into, like, a supernatural leaning, which I don't want to get towards either. Maybe a hoax is taking us more modern, which I think is where I want to go. Have you considered the possibility the picture's a hoax? Sure. Anything could be a hoax. I dug up those old papers from the archives myself. Gotta have something usable. Frank, trying to help you. Try and give you something you can work with. Take it. Frank is clearly taken aback by the change in your tone, but he's a gossip reporter. He's used to people trying to push him. Look, I'm a reporter. You can bless it, but you can't hide the truth. Oh, but this lets him know that we know her. Shit. Tell you one more thing about Sophie. She's good at suing people. You think you can afford a lawsuit? Look, this job's all I have. Don't do this to me. Yeah, I'm gonna be chill. It's your choice. Know your enemy. Desist in there, won't be in trouble. Frank's taken aback at the brutality of your tone. I was super brutal when I voiced that, sorry y'all. He's been intimidated many times before, but he also knows that sometimes threats are real. This time, he senses you're not kidding. He's just an aging man trying to salvage his career. You win. Hope you and Sophie Langley have a happy life. Deflated and hunched over, Frank drudges away from the alley. You stare at his receding figure. It's hard not to feel sorry for him. And Sophie Langley, he took on something way too powerful for a small fish like himself. We did it! We did it! Man, I hope that doesn't bite us in the ass later. That seemed really, like, all over the place, but hopefully we did okay enough. Alright, we've done Tam. We've done weird, sleazy reporter man. Should we do one of the new guys? I've been wanting to do Hopes, but I feel bad. She's about to head out into the city. Let's go hang out. When you get to the internet cafe, Hope is already waiting out front. The sight catches you off guard. A part of you suspected she might be more of a shut-in. My haven is my castle type. 𝒸𝒾𝒶 2002. Oh, is she? She's talking through her personalities, that's right. Perfect timing. We need to go for a ride. Get in, get in, get in. She doesn't wait for your response and jumps behind the wheel of a lavender vintage roadster instead. The engine starts roaring unexpectedly, causing everyone's heads to turn. Not wanting to attract needless attention, you quickly slip into the back seat of the car. The moment you shut the door behind you, the vehicle sets off, tires screeching. Oh, Hope. Auto 100 real quick. Wow, is she only communicating with us through these usernames now? That's wild. Also, I love her little kitty dangly. Sorry for not bringing you up to speed first, but hey, this is NYC, everyone's always in a rush. And this is even more true when you're kindred. Bussy work. Now, allow me to take care of some business and I'll be right with you. Even as she's zooming through traffic, she's still on her phone, of course. Nice car. How do you fold this? Vroom, vroom, beep, beep. Thank you. The letter really brings out its character, doesn't it? Bussy work. About affording things in this city, it's pretty hard. You gotta be at the top of your game at all times. Bussy work still. Might as well explain my business plan to you while I'm at it. Discuss BTC. So another extremely online malc based in New York goes by the name Google Ethereum a few years ago. That's how I got into Bitcoin. Discuss BTC. And I found a new religion. 23-year-olds selling visions of governments replaced by benign code and decentralized consensus. Masses ruled by algorithms just as the laws of physics. Discuss BTC. Idiot man-child investors trying to shape the realities through sheer fanatical zeal. And dedicated collectors of things as abstract as rare SHA-256 decryptions. Her driving style is far more aggressive and dangerous than you're comfortable with. Is it just you, or does she peek into the rearview mirror more often than she looks straight ahead? Discuss BTC. A hyper-speculative environment where nothing has real value. Only abstract beliefs matter. And your life savings can be ruined by a single bullshit tweet. How could I refuse the allure? Discuss BTC. I started buying low and selling high on a variety of shady 24/7 exchanges that allowed me with 100 times leverage, and they'd lend me 100 times the capital I could bet with. Discuss BTC. I got lucky at the beginning and got the ball rolling. Shorting and longing impulsively, recklessly. I got to the point where I became too big to fail, and that's when I cashed out. The car comes to an abrupt halt. You bump up against the seat in front of you. 100 to 0 real quick. Okay, the story will be continued later. We're here, right at our first stop. I need you to do me a favor. Yeah, I think first stop is what we need to draw some attention to. The stop. Young, hot, petite, ingenue? Yeah, I need to run your errands tonight. This one is as simple as it gets. Young, hot, petite. Is that weird guy in a Yankees car standing around the corner? Approach him. Tell him you're at Young, hot, petite. Take the phone he gives you and bring it here. Young, hot, petite. Get going, honey. It's illegal to park here. I love her. You jump out of the car and approach the man Hope has pointed out. Well, you can tell about him based on his appearance, aside from the fact he seems pretty shady. The guy assumes a comically threatening pose as you approach him. What the hell you want? I'm young or petite ingenue. Oh, no offense, but I could have expected a girl. I mean, no, yeah, my bad for assuming. Damn. He takes a phone out of his pocket and covertly passes it to you. Everything's been prepared and preloaded according to your instructions. Should take about 2 minutes to transfer the data. Now get out of here. The man walks away with an exaggerated hip-hop gait. You jump back into Hope's car. She immediately steps on the gas. Young, hot, petite. Got the phone? You're the best. Pass it to me, please. She connects the two smartphones using a cable. Are we gonna trade Pokemon? And begins some sort of data transfer. Looks like it's an identical model. After a minute or so, the process is complete. young hot petite. Alright, lovely. Goodbye. You've served me well. Hope opens the car window, grabs her old phone. You're not expert enough to recognize the exact model, but it definitely looks like it had an $800 price slapped on it, and tosses it out the window. Surprised, you look behind you and see a car in the opposite lane run over the abandoned device. Hope notices your quizzical look. Off-the-grid lifestyle. I've been eating a lot of burner phones lately, and I'm not going to use some cheap piece of shit, so it's a pretty expensive necessity. Intersection. Red light. She takes the advantage of the moment to shoot a driving selfie that strategically excludes her face and uploads it to Instagram. You notice her handle there is Versace? Is it supposed to be Versace, but not? Versace Beauty? Discuss BTC. No, I was telling you a story. Cashing out. Discuss BTC. Right. Discuss BTC. At some point toward the end of 2017, I've become convinced I need to cash out. There was no way the bubble was going to last forever. Discuss BTC. I always knew there was going to be no grapes of wrath for the cryptocurrency era. It wouldn't have to be a series of profoundly antisocial, disconnected events. Discuss BTC. The whole crypto culture was a decentralized church of alone millennials who rejected all established modern values and kept atoning for the original sin of not buying Bitcoin back in 2013. Another abrupt last-second turn. You're pressed against the window. What the hell is with her driving style? I mean, it's as chaotic as Hope is, as unpredictable and wild as Hope is, which I'm trying to convey through the voice acting for her as well. Discuss BTC. But a life you never wanted to live anyway. Get a chance to win a priceless pile of nothing. Untether yourself from all worldly desires. Find joy in suicidal ideation. Discuss BTC. To this day, money holds no real value for me. It's as abstract as a video game score. Don't come for video games, Hope. A bunch of numbers on the screen. This joyless world has changed me forever. I knew I had to escape. Wealth haver? So I took my piles of fictional dollars to a new arena. Elite NYC social circles. Not because I wanted to scam them and make more, but because I wanted to finally have some goddamn fun. Wealth haver. I mean, of course I just scammed them in the process, but it was only in service of becoming something more than a star. A constellation. Another abrupt stop. This time, next to the entrance of a shifty-looking back alley. Leaky gut syndrome, no! Alright, friend, this time, you're leaky gut syndrome whistleblower extraordinaire! Whenever I press sneak fuck once a leak, you've got it. Got it? Leaky gut syndrome. Sorry for putting you out there in my place, but I only personally contact people as a last resort. It gets harder to protect my identity each time I show my face. Leaky gut syndrome. And since I've got you, our man is waiting for you in a back alley. He's paying back a favor with a flash drive containing crucial information we need to stay safe in this city. Retrieve it. I will circle the area. Make sure we aren't in danger right now. When you're done, get back here and I'll pick you up. Everything clear? Good. You exit the car and see it drive away in a hurry, then head into the narrow passageway. Sure enough, there's a man waiting for you at the end of the back street. Unshaven, wearing wrinkled clothes, with a nervous eye tick. He looks even dodgier than the last guy you met. When you approach, he gives you a mean look. You lost to something? I'm leaky gut syndrome. You say I got a little something that might interest me. Of course, straight to the point, aren't you? Alright then. Clumsily, he produces a USB stick from his front shirt pocket and holds it before your face. When you reach out to take it, he pulls his hand back and gives you a sly grin. What a dick. Getting all this data was risky, you know? Miss Montgomery's An unusually secretive person. Digging up dirt on her took more effort than I expected. Effort that should be rewarded, I think. The more you ask around about her, the more you expect to let her say in. Give up your inquiries, which are completely useless at your doorstep. Pepper. No. Secrecy surrounding us screams friends in high places, brave new world order, Illuminati shit, you know? Makes me think I deserve some hazard pay. Ooh, can we call it? Can we call it? I'm nervous. What if she gets mad at us? You try to imagine what Hope would do if she were in your place. Then, you simply turn and start walking away back where you came from. Calmly, wordlessly, no negotiations. Just as you're about to walk out of sight, you hear an annoyed grunt behind you. Right. Should put you on the spot like that, my bad, okay? Get back here. You turn around and look at the journalist expectantly. He sighs and extends the hand holding a flash drive towards you again. You take it. Oh yeah, one more thing. Not really sure what it's about, but one of my informants claims you might be interested in this. He reaches into his inner jacket pocket and presents you with something wholly unexpected. It's a bag of blood, labeled simply as ABRH. You take a closer look, but that doesn't answer any of the questions that just appeared in your mind. You peek into the journalist's cold blue eyes and see them twitch uncontrollably. Don't ask me. I said you'd know what to do with the leaky gut. Come on, take it. I hope Hope doesn't yell at us. Fine, I'll take it. You grab the bag. Anything else? I don't think so. Thanks for your cooperation. I like how I have to do, like, the movement along with these ridiculous voices. Another eye twitch and an awkward silence. You hide the blood bag under your clothes and leave the alley the way you came. Hope's car appears behind the corner just as you walk out onto the street. It doesn't even fully stop when you approach, but slows down just enough so that you can jump in. The moment you close the door, she leans into the gas pedal with her full strength, causing the engine to roar. Her driving style definitely does not reflect how laid back she seems as a person. Leaky gut syndrome. You've got it? You throw the flash drive into the seat next to her. Leaky gut syndrome. Perfect. Any problems? How did the meeting go? You relate the entire back alley encounter to her. Toward the end of the story, you notice she's not staring at the road or her phone, but directly at your face. The realization startles you. Bloody Mary and Adderall. You've got that bag of blood with you? You place it on the seat next to her. She peeks at the label. She looks at it again. Then, she steps on the brakes. Vulgar. Fuck! 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 I'm okay. She grabs both the bag and the flashlight you've obtained and throws them out the window. Is it because we've been made? Because somebody's onto us being a vampire, maybe? Looks like that's her favorite method of taking care of problems. But that doesn't confirm anything, because we were clearly like, the fuck? Bloody Mary and Adderall. That bag was a message. AB negative used to be my blood type. It's the rarest one, found in less than 1% of the United States population. Bloody Mary and Adderall. Glad you didn't drink it. Who knows what they've done to that bag? Some NYC vets can tell you wild stories about using irradiated blood to locate and kill their kindred. Holy shit. Seriously. Glad I didn't drink from him. Bloody Mary and Adderall. Yep, better safe than sorry. Still, I wonder if they would have done anything to his blood? That would be like some 5-dimensional chess move. Bloody Mary and Adderall. But yeah, this contact is compromised and needs to be cut off. Goodbye, my journalist frenemy and enemy. Goodbye, dear leaky gut syndrome. We both outlived your usefulness. After a brief period of hesitation, she deletes the whistleblower extraordinaire account and sighs. Bloody Mary and Adderall. Another one bites the dust. I love Hope. She is wild. She has the best fucking references. 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. I've got another story to finish. I was talking about Bitcoin and then where did I stop? Yeah, NYC elites. NYC elites. 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. Oh, right. You know who saw the real face of the city? Anna Delphi. Ever heard of her? 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. A Russian working-class girl born as Anna Sorokin. She moved to New York in 2013 and convinced everyone that she was an insanely rich trust fund kid, a wealthy German heiress. 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. Manhattan elites totally fell for it, and they bought it for years while she swindled them. She only got arrested in 2017 after having stolen almost $300,000. For some reason, $300K does not seem that much for New York City elites. 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. Sorokin created her Delphi persona out of thin air, convinced everyone that she was going to set up an art fund, and then kept tasting all life's finest pleasures while basically being broke. Living the dream. 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. She even made up a fake family financial advisor, then killed him off when he became a liability. Holy shit. Apparently, most of her rich victims never admitted to being scammed out of shame. By now, you're sure. The way she scrutinizes her surroundings, her reckless driving, she's trying to escape somebody. 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. Now Delphi's locked up with murderers and Rikers, writing her memoirs, apparently picking a lot of fights. Bless her heart. She'll forever be an inspiration. I love Hope. 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. But I have more advantages than she ever did. I have my own considerable funds, and I can rely on many more made-up people than just some old-ass financial advisor. 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. A whole bunch of fake content creators and influencers that every rich dumbass wants to get in touch with and collaborate. Makes it super easy to earn more money than I invest. 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. You've seen it firsthand, both as a deceiver and the deceived. It's a city of illusions. Make non-existent money and come with a financial fictional status. Play nonsensical camarilla games. 𝒂𝒹𝒾𝒶. And one day you might just find yourself at the top. Alright, we reach our last stop. You look around. You're coming up on a parking garage. Devil Woman Doctor. You're gonna take an elevator to the 70th floor. Give the masked man you meet in front of the door this memory card. It contains, an art house movie I've made. Yeah, I think it's cool that she's making shit. Wait. You made it. Devil Woman Doctor. What, are you dense? You see me release it in my haven. Rehearse it in my haven. You think I was just doing that for show, did you? Devil Woman Doctor. I found some filthy rich Manhattan pervs will pay a fortune for a convincing vampire camp show. I don't need money, but their IT industry connections gave me an idea. Devil Woman Doctor. When we give them this memory card, we'll get access to tech that should allow us to take on my biggest enemy in the city. So, your nickname this time is going to be... a crash. You're momentarily dazed and can't immediately understand what happened. The first thing you know for sure is, if you were still a normal human being, you'd be dead. You replay the last few seconds in your head. The other car appeared out of nowhere and crashed into Hope's vehicle at the maximum speed it was able to achieve in this closed-off space. The driver's already managed to kick open the mangled door next to him and stumble out of his seat. Now, he wordlessly approaches the trunk and takes a large caliber, silenced pistol out of it. He starts approaching the lavender wreck of Hope's car, obviously ready to finish the job that he started. You have to be fast and violent. It's you or him now. Oh my shit. Your instincts take over. You don't come up with a strategy or an optimal route. You simply start running towards the gunman, yelling. For a split second, he's completely dumbfounded. Then, he opens fire. The bullets put a brief stop to your sprint. You're engulfed in pain, your flashing clothes being shredded to bits. But when his magazine runs out, you're still standing and determined to move forward. He tries to act as quickly as possible, but he can't reload his weapon before you get to him. A tackle, a primal scream, left punch, right punch, left punch, right punch. You return this cruelty tenfold to his face. When you're done, the head is barely recognizable as human. You stand above the gunman's body, trying to calm yourself and your killer instincts. And that's when you hear her voice. Same, but unironically. Hope slithers out of her car and sees you standing over your assailant. Same, but ironically. You did pretty good. She approaches the body of the driver you killed and kicks it so she can take a better look at it. Upon seeing the front of the corpse, she lets out an annoyed grunt. Same, but ironically. Knew it would be this asshole. He's been following us all day, and I know just who he belongs to. Even before she's done talking, she's already trying to reach someone through a video call. Eventually, she succeeds. You see a nonchalant woman in business casual on her smartphone screen. 𝒸𝒹𝒾𝒶, how may I help you? Kara. Oh, I didn't expect you to ever reach me through this channel. Have you thought things through? Wait, did something happen? Did something happen? Fucking ghoul just tried to kill me, you crazy bitch! That's what fucking happened! Calm yourself for Christ's sake, spaceless accusation. I know he's from Double Spiral. He's been working for your motherfucking company. Come on, you know I can't be held responsible for the independent actions of my subordinates. Why don't we just meet up and talk it over? Hope disconnects the call and instantly blocks Kara from contacting her. You corporate shithead, you may be sick. Tired, she turns her gaze to the dead ghoul. Hollaback woman. I'll dispose of him. Let me put him in my car. 30 seconds later, his body is laying on the back seat of the lavender-colored wreck. Where are we going? How are we going to drive? Hollaback woman. Okay, good. You take a look at the scene of carnage in front of you. Hollaback woman. Every second we're here gets us closer to a serious Masquerade violation. I have to exchange my ponder worthy masterpiece for the goods for some other time. She gets behind the wheel, and you follow her inside the car. Hollaback woman. How are we driving? Meet me by Haven when I tell you it's safe. For now I need to dump this asshole somewhere, get my car fixed, and plan our counterattack. You guide Hope to your own haven. She drops you off. And before she leaves, she makes what's about to become perfectly clear. Me, if you want to survive in this city, Kara Montgomery needs to die. She disappears into traffic, and you disappear into your place. Wow, that was so good! That was so good! God, I love this game. I hope that each and every one of you has a wonderful rest of your day or night, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. For more content, you can check out these videos, or my stream on Twitch, or my reaction content on TikTok. All the links are in the description. Have a great rest of your day.